My name is Jeremy Walton, and this is the Osmo Pocket. Let's go! There's been a lot of Osmo Pocket reviews since it came out. A lot. But there's only so many videos you can watch about specs. A camera like this needs to be thrown into the wild, like on a roller coaster. You need to see it in action. So I planned a trip to the most magical place on earth, and I thought, what a perfect opportunity to test the Osmo Pocket. Plus, it's not always practical to bring along my GH5. As much as I want to, there are those moments when a quick hit of the record button is what you need. This will be a run and gun review, not so much about image quality, and you'll see why in a bit. Here is the Osmo Pocket, and if you turn it on, I love that. It's small, like really small, about 4.5 inches tall. You can literally slide it into your pocket. Maybe not the front pocket though, unless that's your thing. You know what I'm saying. What I do want to cover in this video is shooting modes like FPV and tilt lock. I also talk a little bit about audio, slow motion, low light, and my final thoughts. For this trip, I shot everything in pro mode. Hold up, let me back up 1 second. The one thing I have to mention is as soon as I got back from my trip, DJI launched the new firmware update. Such perfect timing. It's really not gonna matter too much for this video, but pro mode can now be accessed without having to connect your phone. I will be shooting in 4K, 3840 by 2160 at a frame rate of 23.976. The color profile will be set to normal since that was the only option at the time, and everything will be in auto mode with no ND filters. This is difficult for me. I'm a manual kind of guy. I like full control, although I feel that defeats the purpose of using a camera like this. I might as well use my GH5 if I have the time to set up a shot. It does give you the option to use some manual features, but for this trip, not gonna happen. I know, I'm sure you've heard all this before and wanna get to the roller coaster, so here we go. That was bad, your fault. You rushed me, I wasn't ready. Just wait a second, now I don't have any fast passes, you're killing me. Scroll over, don't forget that. Okay. Now I'm ready. I put the gimbal into tilt lock and held it in flashlight mode. This gives me more range of motion than if I held it upright. I also set it to fast follow. I really like the tilt lock mode, but there are limitations depending on what and how you want to shoot something. By the way, it was dark by the time I was able to get back to the ride. Your fault. As you can see, we banked pretty hard and the camera stayed level. Now that's a specific look. What about FPV mode? In case you were wondering, the weather was all over the place. Hot, cold, rain, lightning, from LA to Florida. I don't know what's going on. You know, I'm headed to Minnesota next week. You know, let me check something. Are you kidding me? -23? What's the wind chill? -49? For all the people that ask why I love living in Southern California, that's why. That's like 100-degree difference. It makes me cold just thinking about it. Totally got distracted, back to the footage. It was different, right? You could see now the camera moves with you, giving you a different experience and feel. And this time I held the camera in the upright position. If I held it in flashlight mode, the camera would have been pointed at the ground. I was a little nervous holding the camera with one hand, so I used two. And not being able to hold on to anything, I was bouncing all over the place. Knowing that, what do you think of the footage? When I played it back, I was actually surprised. I really thought it wasn't going to be usable. It really is surprising how well a camera on a gimbal this small can work in a situation like this. I also had to do my slow motion walk because I was curious how it was going to look. That really wasn't a fair test. Those shoes always look good. I actually had a pretty good time filming in the rain as well. People probably thought I was weird, but I had to get the shot. This is one of those moments where you may not have your main camera, just your Osmo Pocket, but I would rather have it and get the shot than no shot at all. Audio is another big topic. How good is the Osmo Pocket audio? That's the wrong question. If you're used to your DSLR or mirrorless camera with an external mic, it's not gonna compare. What you have to ask yourself is the audio good enough? If you wanna vlog, there's plenty of examples online. Have a listen, and ultimately that decision is up to you. I mean, how do I sound right now? This is really good, babe.
You didn't have it last time, huh? You had a couple bites.
Low light. What can you expect? How about a low light test on a roller coaster?
Oh, God.
Yeah, you can't see anything. It was completely dark. Fun though. Sometimes it seems like people want a perfect camera no matter where it falls on the scale between consumer and professional. Don't expect the same results from a $350 camera as you get from a $2,000 to $3,000 camera. Not gonna happen. With the right expectations, with all features, including low light, you won't have buyer's remorse. A couple other things I wanna mention is people have complained about the Osmo Pocket not having a wide angle lens like the GoPro, but that's actually why I like it. I'm not a huge fan of the wide angled fisheye look. I get why people want it in an action camera, but it just doesn't fit my needs. If I can only recommend one thing, it would be get some ND filters. You have some options now. At the time, I didn't have any, so to me, the footage looked a bit sharp and on the digital side because that shutter had to work overtime to handle that daylight. DJI also makes a controller wheel. Out of stock. Awesome. I do think this will be on my list to purchase and try out because of how I use and operate my Ronin S. Not having to use my phone with a new update will allow me to replace the smartphone adapter with a controller wheel. It's another thing I look forward to testing out, and with the new features and accessories becoming available, I may have to make another video, and I urge you to get out there and do some tests for yourself. I had a lot of fun shooting with the Osmo Pocket, and it definitely will be another tool in my camera bag, or pocket. You know, this wasn't a typical review. I just wanted to have a stress-free vacation and get some good footage while I'm at it. There's plenty more info out there if you want to do the research. Whether it's to vlog or get some B-roll, in my opinion, it gets the job done. Well, there you have it, my thoughts on the Osmo Pocket. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hit that like button because there's definitely more to come. Subscribe so you don't miss out. But until then, comment below. Let me know what you want to shoot with the Osmo Pocket. And as for this episode, it's a wrap.